Welcome to Escape to the Country. Now, if like me, you're a fan of the history of the Industrial Revolution and in particular our canals, this is a place you have to visit. The flight of locks behind me represents arguably one of the most impressive parts of the canal network anywhere in the UK. Find out where in just a moment. Today's house hunting couple are heading to the countryside to be closer to their son, and they're not afraid of a property project.
And I might even add a little utility room out there.
As long as we get the colour right.
I don't like yellow houses.
Paint works, David.
I know.
Well, today we are in Wiltshire, and these are the Cane Hill locks, just outside Devizes, the jewel in the crown, if you like, of the Kennet and Avon Canal. Built some 200 years ago, they were the brainchild of one John Rennie. Now, he was the man tasked with directing the canal over the shortest route possible, and here the solution was to send it uphill. And the way he did it, he built 16 locks in close succession to one another. But here's the really clever bit. In order to keep enough water in the system, he also built this series of ponds, each one of which contains the same amount of water as two Olympic-sized swimming pools. It is a fantastic feat of industrial engineering, and just goes to remind us that Wiltshire is a county brimming with history. Known as the gateway to the West Country, landlocked Wiltshire is bordered by 6 counties, including Somerset to the west and Berkshire and Hampshire to the east. It's a picturesque county of rolling, chalky downland. Historic attractions include Salisbury Cathedral with its 13th century spire, the highest in England, and the world-famous Stonehenge. Wiltshire's earliest inhabitants have left an extraordinary and sometimes mysterious archaeological footprint, from stone circles including Avebury to prehistoric burial mounds. The county is celebrated for its collection of white horses which pepper the chalky hills. The majority, including this one at Westbury, are not ancient creations but date to the 18th century. Wiltshire also has its fair share of pretty villages and attractive market towns. Marlborough, with its wide high street, is lined with fine old buildings that make it a property hotspot. With a wealth of awe-inspiring architecture set in a timeless landscape, it's easy to see why people are attracted to this rural county. Well, Wiltshire clearly has an awful lot going for it. And whilst you may fancy living on the water, if bricks and mortar are your thing, well, here are the figures that really matter. The cost of your average detached property here is around about £300,000. That's some 15% above the national average. But don't despair. As with any county, there are, of course, variations. And here, over towards the west, towards Somerset, you will certainly get a little bit more for your money. But what is it about Wiltshire that's attracted today's buyers? Well, time now to meet them and find out. Jackie and David have been married for 30 years. Jackie, who's originally from New Jersey in the US, met David when he was holidaying in Manhattan.
It was because of the rain. Dave was in a place and didn't leave because of the rain, and I ran in with friends of mine because it was raining, and we wound up talking, and the rest is history.
They're currently living in a 3-bedroom rented property in Oxfordshire, having recently sold their Canterbury townhouse of 6 years.
We put the house on the market and it sold extremely quickly. The people who bought wanted to be in the house within 5-6 weeks of the offer. So we decided to go ahead with the sale and ended up in a rental house.
For many years, David worked as a systems analyst in Brussels and commuted from Canterbury. Jackie was a primary school teacher, but having both recently retired, they're now free of work constraints.
We've always wanted to be west of London. This is our opportunity to do it.
The main reason for David and Jackie's move to the Wiltshire countryside is their 30-year-old son, Nicholas. He's a captain in the Signals and has recently returned from his second tour of duty in Afghanistan.
He's in the military and he's going to be based out towards Salisbury Plain. And we didn't want to be that far away from him so that we can see him and his partner.
The garden is key in what they want from their new home, and Jackie must have somewhere to grow her own produce.
I grew up in an Italian-American family, and everybody gardened in the family. So it was something that I grew up with. I'm happiest when I'm in the garden, digging, planting, cropping. And I enjoy the fact that I can grow something and then make a meal out of it. There's a lot of satisfaction in it. Dave's actually pretty good at salad making and things of that sort, haven't you?
I'm a pretty good sous chef, I think.
As well as gardening, the Wiltshire countryside will give Jackie and David the opportunity to indulge their other hobbies.
I enjoy sailing, I enjoy playing golf, I love folk music.
The antiquity of it is what I love, and the beauty of it, the gently rolling hills. It's the beauty of Wiltshire that I like.
I think that we'll be out walking and enjoying the countryside a lot more than we were able to in Canterbury.
Yes, definitely. That would be nice.
Our buyers have mentioned Marlborough as a town they'd like to be close to, so we're concentrating our search with that in mind. I'm meeting up with them in the attractive village of All Cannings, around 10 miles from Marlborough itself. Well, David and Jackie, welcome to Wiltshire.
Well, thank you. Very exciting to us.
It's a big adventure, yes.
It is a big adventure. Well, it's a big county to explore too. This is the village of All Cannings. Have you ever been here before?
We haven't been here before, no.
Absolutely gorgeous. Right on the edge of Salisbury Plain. We'll probably hear them making a bit of a racket.
Oh, it could be my son.
Well, it could be your son, because he's in the army, isn't he?
Yes, he is, yes.
And he's based down in Bulford.
In Bulford, yes.
But very excitingly, your search is off to a flying start because you sold your house in Canterbury in record time. How long did it take?
Less than one day, actually.
How many people watching this are wishing they could sell their house in a day?
Well, it was a blessing, but it was tough work getting a place to stay.
So the pressure is on to find you something.
Yes.
To get this dream underway.
Absolutely.
Now, the budget it has given you is what?
300,000 to 400,000, yeah.
So would you take on something that needs a bit of work then at the lower end of the 300s?
Yes.
We would love a project, yes.
Yeah, we just finished doing our son's house up, so we're ready.
Well, let's think about the kind of property that you are after. Just describe it to me.
Probably 3 bedrooms, a decent kitchen, a garden. The garden is the most important thing to me.
Yeah.
And don't tell my husband, but chickens maybe too.
He's right here. What do you think about the chickens, mate?
I'm not so keen on the chickens. We'd also be looking for a garage, if possible, maybe an outside workshop.
But you're also very keen on securing somewhere with a real sense of community about it, aren't you?
Yes, very important to us to be in very active type of village so that we can be involved with our neighbours, yeah.
Now, you will have a view of what the quintessential English property, an English village, will be like.
Yes, of course.
Is this kind of it?
This is very, very it. Yes, this is beautiful here.
Well, here's the thing. We've got 3 properties to show you, but our first one is just down the road. This could be your village green.
Oh,
it's beautiful.
Yeah?
It's gorgeous, yes.
Come and have a look at this. For a top budget of £400,000, David and Jackie are seeking a property with character, 3 bedrooms and a decent kitchen. They would happily take on a project, and Jackie is after a garden with a vegetable patch, while David would like a garage or workshop. They're keen to throw themselves into the local community and want to be positioned in or close to a dynamic village. We've uncovered an assortment of wonderful Wiltshire houses with which to woo our buyers, but I won't be revealing the price tags until the end of each tour. Our final offering, the Mystery House, is awash with history, but does come with a big challenge. So our first house is in the village of All Cannings. Lying at the base of the chalky Pewsey Downs, the award-winning village is centred on the Hall, which hosts a monthly gardening club, something Jackie might like, plus there's also a community-run shop and post office. The Kennet and Avon Canal, which links Bristol with Reading, flows just north of All Cannings. It was restored in the 1990s and is fully open to canal craft. Now, of course, every village needs its hub, and for many, it is the pub.
Oh, yes.
Of course.
And this one is really exciting because it's the venue for an annual rock concert that's held in aid of cancer research. There's the pub, it's just down there. And this year's
song.
concert, just to whet your appetite, should you move here, the Boomtown Rats are coming down.
Good grief.
Steve Harley, Cockney Rebel, you know, the Trogs. See, I've always had you as a bit of rock and roller.
Oh, yes.
So it may be the excuse you need to
Yes.
make All Canning's your new home. But first of all, let's check out the house. Our first property is just 100 metres from the pub, right in the centre of the village. This is what we want to tempt you with, our first offering in All Cannings. What do you think?
Oh, it's beautiful.
It's incredible. It's
Yeah?
nice. Yeah.
Now, in terms of its style, it's built 1912. Very much in the Edwardian mode, I would suggest. Now, you don't get all of it. You get this bit with the blue door. Now, in terms of workshop space, David,
The garage here. Yeah.
has probably got your plans written all over it.
I saw that first. Yes.
To give you an idea of just how popular this village is, this has only just come on the market and they are considering 2 offers at the moment. So bear that in mind as you're going
Okay.
through it.
Okay.
But I think this could be an absolute dream.
I do
It looks
too.
very interesting, yes.
Yeah?
I
Yes.
do, yes.
So let's see what you think of the inside.
Okay.
Yeah? Well, great reactions to the location and appearance of our first property, an extended Edwardian semi-detached cottage which is packed with character inside. Well, let's start with the main living area.
It's a good space.
I love these high ceilings. I think that really makes it, and these lovely big windows, great big window sills.
Yeah. 2 fireplaces.
They've taken out this wall to obviously extend it. But yeah, you've got some really lovely features here. The parquet
Look at this
flooring.
floor.
Parquet floor, yeah,
Yeah.
that's beautiful. Yeah.
And through here, we've got a study area and a downstairs shower room as well.
Oh, this is a really good size. Really is.
So far, I'm impressed.
Yeah.
Good. Well, let's go through to the dining room and the kitchen and see what you think of this, just across the hallway.
Okay.
There you go.
Oh, okay.
Another great big tall room, which I love.
Yes, it's good space.
Yeah.
Nice and bright too.
Yeah.
Nice windows. And is that a range? I
It is
can
indeed a
see?
range. Yeah, oil-fired range for you. Alluding to the kitchen behind this wall. Now, the wall itself is obviously doing a job in supporting what's above it, but it wouldn't be a great job to remove that wall
Yes.
and give you an enormous kitchen diner
Yes.
family space.
I think so, yeah. Can we
Absolutely.
see around
See
the
kitchen.
wall?
You get the idea.
Yes.
So there's your lovely range.
Oh, yeah.
Nice and warm today, just as well.
Oh,
It is,
yeah.
isn't it? Yes.
It's oil, I assume.
It's oil, yeah, it's oil.
Oh, it is nice and warm too.
And then this is the kitchen. Functional, not massive, but again, you get the idea. If that wall wasn't there,
How much
We could transform this.
could be beautiful. And I might even add a little utility room out there.
but you could also pinch a bit of the garage.
Of course.
We'll have to
No,
talk
you
about
couldn't.
this.
No, you couldn't. It's a workshop. I was just wondering to see if he was still with us. Yeah, good. Brilliant. So we're OK on character and downstairs space, and both David and Jackie can see the potential this property offers. Upstairs, there's a period-style family bathroom with roll-top bath, 4 good-sized bedrooms, 3 of which could make excellent guest rooms. But we're heading to the master.
Oh, this is nice.
I mean, we're
this is
calling
great,
this
isn't it?
the master. I mean, to be honest, you can sort of take your pick, really, out
Yes.
of almost any of them.
But look at the view. Oh, it's beautiful.
Yeah. Bit of rolling Wiltshire on the horizon.
Yeah. Oh, and I love the wooden floors because most American houses have wooden floors. It's lovely. It really is.
I think this is a really good, viable option for you. It is, of course, going to depend on 2 things. 1, what you think of the garden, and 2, what you think it's worth.
Price, yes.
Let's go and find some outdoor space.
Okay.
So the house gets a thumbs up, but Jackie also wanted a garden she could make her own. This house gives her a front lawn and a good-sized mature garden at the back of the property with lots of potential.
Oh, vegetable patch out there.
That's what they've got at the moment. You've got
Yes.
these old hurdles here which are kind of delineating that.
Yeah.
The interesting thing is you also get a chunk of that red building over there, which is shared by these other properties. But you get the first sort of third of it.
Okay.
Oh,
There is one final question I have to ask you, and that is, what do you think it's worth?
I'm thinking about 355.
Yeah?
I'm going to say about 360.
360?
Yeah, I'm going to say about 360.
Well, I think 355, 360 would be fair enough. But the welcoming news is that this place is on the market for offers in excess of 325.
Wow.
Ooh.
Room to improve.
Oh, yes.
Can you see why we brought you here?
Yes.
Absolutely.
This one offers you lots to think about.
It sure does.
Yes.
It sure does.
It's interesting. Very
And
interesting.
I'd like to see a little more of the garden, if that's okay.
Go and explore.
Thank you.
Thank you.
But don't take too long. This space is going to be sold very, very quickly. Under their maximum budget by £75,000, this characterful semi-detached Edwardian property gives our buyers one more bedroom than they asked for, a garage workshop for David, and a garden for Jackie to put her stamp on. And it's situated in the heart of a thriving and popular Wiltshire village.
Oh, look, Dave.
Got the oil tanks in there.
No, this is brill.
I'm very, very impressed actually with this house. Nice village. Any village with a pub that's having a rock festival can't be bad, can it?
I like the size of the rooms. They're not too big. They have nice high ceilings, and there are 4 bedrooms, which I didn't expect to get. So it would be a bonus with that. And of course, the garden needs me.
I don't think there's a room that doesn't need some work, but I think we could be up to the challenge here. This is very nice.
I think David's feelings are pretty close to my feelings about the house. I probably like it a little bit more.
Right, out you come. Allow me, madam. There we are.
Thank you.
Well, I think that was rather exciting.
It really was.
Very interesting.
You've really taken to this house and the village.
Yes.
The village is beautiful.
Good. Well, let's go and find some lunch in that pub.
Okay.
I'll give you the full experience. Traditionally an agricultural county, one of Wiltshire's most important industries is pig farming. In the 18th century, the county was the centre of Britain's bacon industry, when drovers would stop off here on their way to London with pigs from Ireland. But it wasn't just for the savoury palate. One of the area's favourite sweet treats takes its key ingredient from a somewhat surprising cut. Since Jackie is interested in Wiltshire's heritage, we've sent her and David to the village of Pewsey, the home of a bakery which celebrates a local pig-related culinary speciality, the lardy cake. They're meeting baker Richard Marshall.
So what is in a lardy cake?
A lardy cake is made of dough. It uses lard, sugar and fruit, normally currants and sultanas.
Why the lard?
Well, back in the olden days, they used to try and use as much of the pig as they could, so the lard, going to a lardy cake was an ideal product, and it's actually got less saturated fat in it than butter.
So it's healthy.
Good.
David and Jackie are going to attempt to bake a lardy cake, the exact origins of which are difficult to pinpoint. Other pig farming regions across the south of England have their own variations, but it's Wiltshire that is widely accepted as being the home of the original recipe. The first step is to roll bread dough into a pizza shape.
How long's your family been doing this then?
Bakery was started by my great-granddad back in the late 1800s, and we know that he was making lardy cakes from early on, and we've been making them ever since to the same recipe.
So how many do you make a week then?
Approximately 600.
Wow.
Then a mixture of lard and sugar is spread over the dough, followed by a sprinkle of dried fruit and spices. Then comes the key stage in the process, the folding.
Fold it towards the middle.
Yeah.
Okay, and then do
This
the same,
side?
yeah, over the top, and then bring
This
that
one?
over top, yeah, and
Okay.
press it down.
To there.
Okay,
And
then
then
yes, that's
this one
into
goes
the middle.
here?
Okay, yeah, find it, and just
Yeah.
press it down with your hand, just to,
Okay. Whole hand.
yes, that's it, yeah. That's perfect. So we just like to leave that for 10 minutes now before we roll it again.
The dough is then folded again, which gives the cake its layered texture.
You want to take him on as a Saturday help?
Yeah, I think he's got some promise here.
It's then baked in the oven. Historically, lardy cake was made for special celebrations, as sugar, spices and dried fruit were considered luxuries. 20 minutes later, the cake is ready to taste.
Do I just break it?
Yes, just break
Oh,
it.
all right. Ooh.
Right, the rest is mine then.
No, that's not fair. Okay, I didn't get very much. It's beautiful.
It's fantastic.
Can I have another piece, please?
Help yourself.
For our second property, we're travelling around 30 miles south to the village of Wiltshire in the southern half of the county. About 9 miles from Salisbury, Wiltshire is a substantial village with a population of around 2,000 and benefits from a range of different housing styles. There's also a village hall, a busy shop, 2 pubs and an allotment. House number 2 is situated on a country lane on the boundary of the village.
Oh, wow.
That's property number 2.
That's amazing.
Every American's dream. Oh, wow.
This bit is about late 1600s, early 1700s. That's a newer extension. I say extension loosely because really it's doubled the size of the thing. And that was done in the 70s, but as you can see, very sympathetically with another thatched roof as well.
If you'd have told me I was coming to see a yellow thatched house, I would have said, no, I don't want to go and see a yellow thatched house, but this is absolutely gorgeous.
Why would you say no?
I don't like yellow houses, but this is gorgeous.
Paint works, David.
I know. This is gorgeous.
It's only paint.
I have to see inside, yes.
All right, then.
Oh, good.
Our second property is an altogether different proposition for David and Jackie, as this 300-year-old thatched cottage is the finished article, having been completely remodelled inside.
Let's step down into here. We'll start with the dining room.
It's beautiful. Look at that fireplace.
It's your classic Inglenook
It
fireplace.
is, isn't it?
Yeah.
It's beautiful.
And you get the idea about the finish
floor.
in here.
Yeah.
And of course, we're not far from Salisbury, so you've got a great city on your doorstep.
Oh, yes. I need to see more.
Well, the kitchen is right through here, and it sort of pops out through that little bar area.
Oh, OK.
There you are.
Oh, this is good.
Oh, this is nice.
There's
nice.
another
Look at that.
fireplace.
With a fridge in it.
With a fridge. Well, that's OK.
It's OK, yeah, it's good.
Doesn't have the range.
But it's got a nice butler sink. Good cupboards. They look good. And
I'm just taking it all in. It is very good. It doesn't look like it needs any work at the moment. So,
No, not really.
No.
This is the late 1600s, early 1700s chunk, but the rest of it is all through there in the modern extension.
OK, let's go.
I say modern, it's all relative.
As well as the kitchen and dining room, there's a spacious reception hall in the more modern wing of the property.
And this is your living room.
I wasn't expecting this.
Oh, this is very
This is really
pretty,
nice.
yeah. And another fireplace, yeah.
Lovely wood burner in there, really cosy.
And even though it's new, we've got a beam here. It's really
Yeah, exactly. I mean, it's well spotted that because back in the 70s, not everybody was into using old stuff, but they've brought that in from somewhere, reclaimed, and it's really just helped give it a sense of pedigree to join the whole property together.
And beautiful view outside both ways because you're looking at a garden.
We'll get to the garden a bit later, but first I want David and Jackie to see the upstairs, which benefits from that modern extension where there are 3 decent-sized bedrooms. One of the doubles would make a nice guest room, and another is being used as a study. There's also a large family bathroom. And the master is back in the older wing of the house.
And then this is yours, we think.
Oh, this is very nice.
Yeah?
Yeah,
Very
this is really
nice,
nice.
yeah.
Well, we stepped back into the late early 1700s at this end of the house,
So
of course.
it's-
This is the old bit.
So far, there's not much I would really want to change about this one.
Yeah.
So it's ready-made for us.
Well, halfway through, it's quite good to have
You're
a quandary.
supposed to be making this easy for
No,
us.
no. It's never easy. It's never easy, but it is fun.
Yeah, definitely, yeah.
Come on then, let's finish off in the
The
garden.
rest of it, okay.
The only thing that might be a challenge in this property is the outside space. Jackie wants a sizable garden, and although this one is nicely arranged, there aren't many options for growing vegetables.
Well, Jackie, this is the bit that I've been sort of dreading, because the garden is not as big as we had in Property 1. The whole plot probably isn't far off it, but a lot of it is laid to patio over there. And, of course, you've got the wood store and the workshop.
Right, yeah.
But what we have identified are the village allotments, which are just a couple of hundred yards that way,
OK.
and a very vibrant village horticultural society.
Oh,
And we are assured that an allotment would be available shortly.
oh, that's good.
So that's the compromise,
Yeah.
I guess. So what do you think property number 2 is on the market for?
I think it's going to be upper end. I think it's going to be closer to 4.
David?
Everything is really well done in there. I think 425.
425?
Yes.
Wow. He's right.
That doesn't happen very often.
He is absolutely on the money. 425,000, but they're aware of your budget and they want to sell.
I'd like to see a little bit more of it, if that's okay.
The house is yours. Off you go.
Great.
Take your time.
Thank you. Okay.
Over budget by £25,000, the owners of this beautiful thatched cottage are open to offers, and it's the finished article. The house offers David and Jackie the character they wanted, 3 bedrooms and the village location. And although the garden doesn't have a vegetable plot, there is a nearby allotment.
Oh, the kitchen looks even prettier from here. Look
Yes,
at that.
yeah.
And that's useful because easier for cleanup and serving and
Yeah.
everything.
It's a very different proposition, isn't it?
Yeah, I like it though. It's got a lot of character, has a lot of charm. My concern, the garden. The garden, it would have to more or less remain a lawn with some shrubs surrounding it. So it wouldn't be a productive garden for me.
It is a cottage and the rooms are smaller. I think the most important thing is that the living room is a nice size and this dining kitchen area is quite functional. I know I criticise the yellow colour, but it's very well done.
Here we are, David. Well done. Well done, Jackie. So how are we all feeling then about our first day of house hunting?
Confused.
Really?
Yes.
I don't think it's fair
Why?
because you've shown us 2 beautiful houses in one day.
That's what you've let yourself in for on Escape to the Country.
Oh.
Good. Well, a bit of confusion's all right. And we've got one more to come tomorrow, the Mystery House.
I know. I don't think I'm going to sleep tonight.
Glass of wine will see that, right? Come on.
Okay.
It's the second day of our property hunt in Wiltshire, and with a maximum budget of £400,000, we're helping David and Jackie from the city of Canterbury, Kent, find a country home close to their son who's in the army. Coming up, the Mystery House calls for some drastic measures.
What would you do with it?
Slash and burn first.
And I meet the farmer who's reviving a prehistoric tradition in his Wiltshire field.
What gave you the idea to create a long barrow?
One of those pub conversations, wouldn't it be lovely if we could rebuild somewhere where we could put our remains?
Yesterday left David and Jackie in a bit of a quandary. They loved the potential of house number 1, and they certainly responded to the fact that house number 2 was kind of all done, but of course it didn't have that all-important garden. But one thing I think is becoming clear. They are prepared to pay a bit less for a property, provided they can do some work on it and make it exactly what they want it to be. So that's where we're going with our mystery house. But when it comes to garden projects, well, this one really is at the top of the list. Well, we had 2 very different propositions for you yesterday,
Yes.
Yes.
but you responded rather well, I thought, to the doer-upper, number 1.
That would be my choice.
What about you, David?
It would also be my main contender.
You are genuinely up for putting some graft into a property if it gets you what you ultimately want.
That's very true.
Yeah.
Well, for our mystery house, we're going to continue that theme.
For our final offering, we're travelling to the village of Teffont in the south of the county. A spring-fed stream winds its way through the heart of the village, and this fresh water supply has attracted people for thousands of years. Neolithic tools were discovered in the nearby woods. 4 times winner of the Best Kept Village in Wiltshire award, Teffont has a strong sense of community. There's a gardening club for Jackie, as well as an annual village show. And gardening is the theme of our mystery house. Jackie wanted to get her hands dirty, but I'm keen to discover just how far she's willing to go.
Here we are, our mystery house in the lovely village of Teffont.
Wow.
Wow.
Oh, that's beautiful.
It's
Interesting.
Very interesting.
It's really interesting.
Yes.
I think we've all spotted the windows and
Yes.
probably some of the work that might need to be done here.
But I also noticed stone mullion windows. So,
Beautiful.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Now you can probably just also make out above that window a little inscription that says
try to remember.
1773, I think. That puts us just before the American War of Independence.
Yes.
There you
So this is one that does need some work. All right.
Okay.
go. Okay, we're not afraid.
Not least in the garden. So I think we're going to break the tradition and start there.
Brilliant.
Yeah.
I can see a lot of green, so...
Let's go.
Okay.
This 18th century period cottage built of local weathered stone has been extended by the current owner. The sloping garden is to the rear and offers an excellent view of the surrounding village.
Just sort of how much of a garden project were you after?
This is good.
Yeah?
This is good, yes.
It goes up really to where those trees are up there.
Really?
And overlooks
All right.
the churchyard next door.
Which is fine by me.
Yeah.
I like those kind of neighbours.
Now, you know, a lot to do, but I think you'd make it your own.
Me and my fork. No, we could do it, yeah.
What would you do with it?
Slash and burn first. The old, Native American way of getting rid of everything, because then,
Yeah.
of course, you can use the ashes and then do some digging and some lifting out.
Let's have a look inside. Come
Okay.
on.
Jackie can't wait to roll up her sleeves, but first we need to see inside, which is packed with history.
Come in, come in.
Okay.
This is a great point to really assess the layout of it, and I love this one because I think it really flows off of this central dining hall, as it were. The kitchen is up there, up those steps.
It's got a nice feel to it when you walk in.
It's a lot better inside than out.
Yeah.
Yes.
Do you remember yesterday we talked about the beam in that?
Yes. Oh,
Because this one came from Salisbury Cathedral.
really?
Yeah.
Oh.
How about that?
That's incredible, isn't it?
Can we see some more?
Yeah,
please?
let's have a look in here. This is the living room with a whopping great inglenook fireplace.
I didn't expect that. Oh, and another beam.
Yes, that's not from the cathedral.
Oh, dear.
They'd start to notice a pattern, wouldn't
Yeah, I think so. Yeah,
Yeah.
on the roof.
This is offering more opportunity for us because it has a lot more character. I just wonder what happens when the cathedral wants their beam back.
Just don't tell them it's here.
It's got to be on television.
That's it.
I'm glad David and Jackie can see the potential of this property. The possibilities continue in the kitchen at the back of the house, as there's planning permission already in place to extend this upwards and outwards into the garden. On the first floor, there's a family bathroom and 3 bedrooms. One of the doubles has a lovely stripped wooden floor, and there's a smaller single as well as the master.
Oh, this is a nice room.
Isn't it?
Oh, it's a good size.
Yeah.
It really is.
It's great.
Yes.
Really light.
Yeah.
A surprisingly high ceiling, actually.
Beautiful. I love the big windows, the ledges, the sills.
Yeah.
And I could probably put a chair in this room. It's large enough to have a little chair in the room.
Absolutely, yeah. So this is the biggest project of the lot. But now you've seen the inside, how are you feeling about it?
I really like this place.
Let's go downstairs and talk about the price, shall we?
Oh,
Okay.
This is going to be really interesting, isn't it? Yeah?
It is.
Follow me.
Well, our mystery house has worked its magic again, but it will require some cash to make those alterations. So will there be enough left in the kitty?
So here we are then, back where we started. We've explored the garden, we've shown you what this property has to offer, but is it one you would want to take on? What price is it worth to you two, I wonder?
It has warts, but it has potential. And I'm going to guess 310.
310, yeah, Dave?
I think we have to go a little higher. I think we're looking around 325 for this.
Well, I think you're in the right territory, because this is on the market for offers around £330,000. Now, saying that, it's been reduced to that figure. They are keen to sell, and this isn't going to be for everybody. So I think, you know, you're in the right area.
It's a definite, I think.
We're going to look at the math.
Do the maths and get creative.
Yes.
Go on then, off you go. I will catch you later. Well, that is very, very interesting. We often do get buyers on Escape to the Country who say they're up for a project, but in truth, it can frighten many people off. But this one, I think, is really viable, and I think they are really into it.
Under their top budget by £70,000, and with the owner also open to offers, this detached period cottage gives David and Jackie a character property in the heart of a popular village. A spacious hallway come dining room, 3 bedrooms, a challenging garden project, and the chance to put their stamp on a home.
So just think,
Yeah.
some sort of A-frame, big window there overlooking the garden.
No, I want a door.
This is a very interesting house. Lots of potential, lots of ideas flowing around in my mind about what we could and couldn't do with this.
We've already looked around and thought of 2 or 3 different ways that we could make this property slightly larger and slightly better.
Rebuild the garage backwards, utility room here. This would be the kitchen.
Shower room too.
And shower room.
Yeah, have to put a shower room in there. I could see us making an offer on this house.
Right, time to go, if they're all done. Hello!
Hi.
How'd you come? I'm going to drag you away from a mystery house.
It's been very exciting.
I think this is perhaps put the cat among the pigeons, is it?
It has.
Lots of food for thought.
Lots of redesigning going on.
Lots of work.
I think it's really exciting, though. That's the key thing. So we've given you 3 options. Time to make your considerations and your deliberations.
I'm ready.
Come on, then.
Of the many prehistoric monuments in Wiltshire, there are none as numerous as the various burial mounds which scatter the chalky hills. One of the best preserved is the West Kennet Long Barrow, built around 1,000 years before Stonehenge, and which at one time contained the remains of up to 50 people. Mass burial may have fallen out of favour for a while, but now one Wiltshire farmer is building the first new long barrow for thousands of years. I've come to the farm on the Marlborough Downs to meet owner Tim Dorr to find out more about his tomb with a view.
What gave you the idea to create a long barrow 4,000 years after the last one was probably built?
One of those pub conversations, wouldn't it be lovely if we could rebuild something Neolithic and somewhere where we could put our remains?
And what is it about Wiltshire, Tim, that's left us with this fantastic legacy of prehistoric archaeology?
A lot of the land has not been touched. A lot of the original downland hasn't been ploughed up and it's been protected for various reasons.
Now, one of the great things about the sighting of many prehistoric monuments is their close relationship to the passage of the moon and the sun. Is yours aligned in any particular direction?
Absolutely. That's why one of the reasons I chose this point. The passageway, the first gleam of the midwinter sunrise of December the 21st, will shine right across the valley, right through the passageway to the end chamber. So nearly 11 miles to the horizon over there.
Well, I can hear the masons in there working away. Can we go inside it and see where they're up to?
Absolutely, let's go.
The design of Tim's long barrow is similar to the Neolithic tomb at West Kennet and is in the early stages of construction. The entrance of the barrow is built partly from local sarsen stones, similar to the ones used at Stonehenge and Avebury. Once finished, the barrow will contain several circular chambers lined with niches for the storing of pots of ashes. The chambers are being constructed using traditional dry stone walling techniques. Geraint Davis is the head stonemason.
Geraint, nice to see you.
Hello there.
How's life in the Neolithic then?
Quite exciting, yes, yes, quite exciting.
This is extraordinary. So this is one of the chambers. How many are you making here?
We're going to have 7 chambers off the central passageway. This is 3 down this side, 3 down that side, and 1 at the far end where that little post is over there.
But what have been the real challenges with it?
Well, just to make it work in naturally bedded stone. Maybe it's not exactly the same as what they'd have done, but it's just nodding to what they had and to work with and everything else, really.
The thing to remember, I suppose, is that when you come in here, when it's done, it will be like coming into a cave.
Absolutely, it's going to be all dark. You know, all this beautiful work's going to be very hard to see except for by candlelight.
And how many people have signed up already to have their remains interred here?
A couple of dozen people have actually bought niches and are all very, very interested in it.
And where's yours going to be?
I've bagged the one in the far chamber that is at the end of the corridor, so hopefully the sun will shine on my niche.
Well, I wish you all the very best of luck. If it keeps shining like it is now, it'll be a fantastic day when your first midwinter occurs here and the whole thing is finished in, we hope, what, 6 months or so?
It's thought that most Neolithic barrows were traditionally reserved for royalty and the social elite. But Tim's long barrow is open to anyone, and when full will house the remains of up to 2,000 people in this peaceful setting in the heart of the Wiltshire countryside.
Well, it seems our properties have tied David and Jackie in a series of knots, but the question is, have they been able to unravel the conundrum and come up with some sort of a conclusion for their future? Well, of course, there is, as ever, only one way to find out, and that's to go and ask them. Here we are at the end of the process. How are you feeling?
Tired.
Happy, though.
Good. Well, let's go with the happy.
Okay.
What have you really taken away from it?
We've seen 3 very, very good houses. The last one, we think, was pretty exciting.
The mystery house?
The mystery house,
OK.
yes. Lots of potential there, and we've spent a lot of time talking about it.
The first one,
Yes.
in that amazing village of All Cannings, which just had such a vibrancy about it. Why did that fall from grace at the top of your list?
Because the mystery house, the size of the rooms and the potential for what we really want was more there in that house than in the house in All Cannings.
Now, for our second property, we gave you something that really didn't need a lot of work doing to it at all.
Well, the house was finished to a very high standard. We liked it a lot, but it didn't have the flow that we wanted. The master bedroom was a little bit too small for us.
Yeah.
And it was somebody else's house, and there was not much to do.
When we got to the mystery house, I was really excited about it. Now, in many instances, that would have been a very, very hard sell.
Yes.
But you absolutely picked up the ball and ran with it straight away.
I did, because it's a blank canvas to me. If we do get this house, I plan on making terraces and doing something with the borders and something with the stone.
Wow. Wow. Really ambitious plans.
Yes.
Yeah, we could see the potential there.
It sounds like you've bought it.
No,
But not yet.
no, we have to do our homework on it.
So are we going to hopefully hear that you might have put an offer in?
That's quite possible.
Yes, because we're probably going to go in and do some talking to people today.
Really?
Yes, yeah.
Well, we better not keep you here any longer, have
No, no, we have work to do.
we? And a deal to be struck.
Yeah.
Well, this is very exciting. Well, it's been a real pleasure, both of you, having you on Escape to the Country. We wish you all the very best of luck.
Thank you, Jules. It's been a real pleasure for us, too. It really has.
It's been fantastic. Thanks a lot.
Here's to you. Best of luck.
Well, throughout this house search, I don't think David or Jackie have really shied away from the challenges that they've given us. Yes, we had a very generous £400,000, but we were pitching it into a not inexpensive and very popular local housing market. But I think they found that in taking the long view, in deciding to renovate, by spending that little bit less, they will ultimately get an awful lot more, a home they can really make their own. I'll see you next time.
If you'd like to escape to the country in England, Wales, Scotland or Northern Ireland and would like our help, why not apply online at bbc.co.uk/Be On A Show.